Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and it's the week of the 2017 Western States 100. I'm with 2015 champion, Western States Magda Boulet.
Hi, Megan.
I'm kind of up in your hood right now. We're here at the Northstar Resort, which I'm learning has been a long time altitude training home for you.
Right, I'm very lucky to call this my second home. We have friends here that own a little condo, and I've been coming here probably since I want to say like 2002. Every year, I used to come out here when I trained full time as a marathoner for about 1 month at a time.
Okay.
But now, a week will do.
Yeah, so this is the week before Western States. We're about 4 days out now. Are you here on vacation with your family this week and trying to put in a little bit of altitude training?
Well, no, not really, not altitude training. I think it's just mostly just being in Tahoe, being in the environment, kind of being exposed to to heat, just versus doing heat training back at home. And it's nice to just get away and not have to clean your house, and send Owen to school and have all the responsibilities. I'm lucky enough to work from here. So GU is, a great employer, and allows me to spend this week working from far away.
So you've got Richie, you've got Owen, and you've got your laptop and your phone, and you're just trying to take in the heat and the little bit of altitude here and taper away?
Yeah, and try to get a little bit more sleep. I think sleep is just key. It's something that I always struggle with when you work full time and try to put a lot of miles and be a parent and just try to keep up with life. So this really allows me to go to bed early and sleep in a little bit longer. Now that I don't do a lot of training in the morning, I'm waiting for the middle of the day when it's nice and warm. I get to sleep in till 7 or 8, which is heaven.
That's such a mom speak there.
I know. I don't have to look at 4:50 or 5 o'clock on the clock. So
I did not see that number on the clock this morning.
Yep. It's nice. I could get used to it.
So if anybody would like to sponsor Magda's full-time career here at Northstar, right?
I've considered moving here in the past. It's not a bad life. I don't want to get used to it.
So let's talk about your lead up to this race. We last saw you a couple months ago when you tied for second with Casey Lichtide at the Lake Sonoma 50 mile. But social media says you've been really busy in the last couple of months. Can you talk about some of the adventures you've been up to and where you've crammed in some training around life and...
Yeah, so after Lake Sonoma, which the goal there was really to get the golden ticket, and just running with Casey the whole time was so fun. So after getting the golden ticket, finally I was able to breathe a little bit and say, all right, I'm actually in the race, because after that point I really didn't know. You just never know. Yeah. As my recovery week post Lake Sonoma, I went to climb the highest volcano in South America, which was a blast. It's kind of my second hobby. I love getting to high points of a mountain.
How high are we talking on this one?
18,000 feet,
okay.
Which was my first 18er. 14er. Before that, Mount Shasta and Mount Whitney have been my highest, and I have this itch and a dream to do Mount Aconcagua.
Okay.
That's been on my list for a couple decades, ever since college. And I hope to do a 20 next, and then 22.8 is Aconcagua. So kind of taking steps. I'm into the non-technical. I don't have climbing experience and heavy duty mountaineering, but this definitely was a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Pico de Orizaba is the peak in Mexico, and you have to be roped in. You do have to be very careful, and and it was fun. That was a blast. So it was a great experience, and I've never been to 80,000 feet, so kind of just dealing with altitude and knowing
how'd that actually feel.
When we arrived at base camp 2 days before we actually summited, I had headaches. I had, stayed hydrated. I tried to go for a run. And
how'd that go?
It was great because from the hut, I took this fire road, about, 15, 20 minutes down. I'm like, oh, this actually doesn't feel that bad. And then I turn around. And that hurt. That hurt a lot. So that was a new experience running like at 16,000 feet. So a lot of good experiences. Went to Idaho, spent a great weekend in the Satut Mountains for a wedding. So it's been good, and a lot of Mount Diablo training.
Okay.
And that is kind of my key to a successful and confident Western States. I kind of have a hate-love relationship with Mount Diablo. It's really beautiful in the winter time when it's nice and cool and green, but you get the most benefit to actually running Mount Diablo during the summertime when it's miserable and hot and dry. So kind of getting comfortable with those summits was key between Lake Sonoma and Western States.
And maybe, I'm not sure if I heard from your social media or somebody else, were you doing multiple laps on Diablo a couple times?
Yeah, so last year, my go-to was just up and down. This year I did a double.
Okay.
So not too multiple, just
okay.
two. But that's a 30-mile round trip. It's about 7 to 8 miles, depending where you start from, to the top.
Okay.
And so it's a good solid 30-mile run, and half of it is downhills.
Yeah.
So for every uphill there is a downhill.
Which actually is pretty key here at Western States, a race that has more net downhill than uphill.
Right. So hopefully I've done enough of it.
So Western States, you're the 2015 champ. Last year was a sort of a no-go year for you. You brought sickness with you and you're unable to see the race through. You don't seem to me like somebody who thinks about life in the context of wanting do-overs. You seem like a person who's take this, move forward. Is that sort of where you are with this race this year?
It's a really good question. I've really struggled with that. I don't know how to answer that, but
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Let's put it this way. I'm not 20 years old where I can... Let's be honest. I still want to do races, elsewhere where I'm competitive.
Yep.
So the bucket list, is full, and there are being a really young trail runner and ultra runner, I haven't really experienced a lot of different races. So, leading up to this year's race, if things maybe turned out differently last year, maybe I would have been doing something else.
Yep.
But it's Western States, so it's that struggle, it's like, I really, really don't want to miss out on, on being a part of this special race. So, I don't know. I don't know what the future holds, but one step at a time.
Let's talk a little bit about the women's competition here, because this is the most competitive, both breadth and depth, that I've seen in my time here watching Western States. To me, there's something symbolic there about women's sports and what's happening in trail and ultra running with women right now. Do you have any thoughts on how Western States is sort of occupying that space and your involvement with it this year?
Well, I think, the field, like you said, is the most competitive that I've seen. And that is exciting.
Yeah.
That brings the competition level to, just to the next level. The fact that so many women want to be in the middle of it and want to, participate in this race is amazing. This race obviously has a lot of history, but it's a prestigious, accomplishment to win this race. And anytime you have an opportunity to go for it, why not? And also just in general, like in ultra running, there are a lot more competitive women these days. A lot of women coming up from marathons and roads into trail running and finding, a lot of good things about trail running that they maybe haven't seen in a while in road racing. And this is the reason why I stepped into this world. So the more depth we have, the better it is for the sport. Competition is great, and there's no shortage of it this year. And I have a feeling that this is kind of just the beginning of competitive years at Western States.
Mm-hmm. When I think of you as the competitive road running background that you brought to trail running, like, you're kind of a person who I think up and coming trail women look at and try to sort of emulate and respect. Like, what? I'm guessing that there are women who are here at Western States because they've seen you compete the last couple of years and they've wanted to, compete against you, compete with you. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of women who are going to be looking to you this weekend as sort of a female power symbol. Women's athletics or women's trail running right now is in kind of a really cool but also tenuous place. Like, being an icon of women in trail running, like going out doing, this is a really long-winded question, going out and doing 100 miles, which is just it's a difficult thing to see from start to finish. Like, women are going to be looking at you this weekend. Like, does that bear any...
It fires me up.
Okay.
It totally does.
I'm really sorry. That was poorly asked.
No, that's actually a lot of good content, and it totally fires me up. It's what keeps me going. I've been in a running scene for a while, and probably what breaks my heart the most is when I see track and field and road athletes kind of just hit a plateau and just stop running. That breaks my heart. There's always running after running at a different level, in a different sense, even if it's not competitive. But I hope that the people that do kind of hit their plateau in road running do consider trying different things, because
come on over, ladies.
Come on over. It's incredibly beautiful and challenging, and that is why we get into competition, because it's challenging and you want to challenge yourself, right? But also for for the newbies that sometimes don't even get on trails, pound a lot of miles on on roads. Trail running is an incredible opportunity to experience the world. So there's room for everyone.
Room for you, girls, ladies. Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Last question for you. Western States is 100.2 miles. 100 miles is just a long, hard way. Like, running 50 miles is hard, running 100K is hard. Like, there is elemental suffering that's part of doing 100 miles. Why are you drawn to this?
Oh, what a great question. I'm actually writing a little blog today about just, why Western States, and kind of mentally preparing, for this game. But, I'm definitely drawn to the challenges, like I said. I'm the type of a person that as soon as I get comfortable, I look for ways to get uncomfortable.
Okay.
It's what helps me grow and what keeps me going in life. Like, I think life would be extremely boring if I just got really comfortable doing one thing. And I think every 100-mile race has its challenges, and this one in particular this year is really unique with the snow in the beginning of the race. I just went up squat the first 4 or 5 miles a couple days ago, and we were deep in the snow, in the ankle, deep in the snow. There's no way it's going to melt.
Okay.
I don't know what everyone says. It's not 100 degrees up there. It's nice and comfortable. So the start is going to it's going to be comfortable in a way that it's not going to be probably too hot, because there's going to be some snow left. But it's going to be challenging, because if you haven't really practiced running in slushy snow, get ready for it. And then you're going to enter this, extreme heat. Because anytime there's more water, there's going to be more heat and humidity. So very extreme challenges and factors to the race. Someone told me the other day it's ice and fire type of a race.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. So ice and fire year.
Yep.
Well, best of luck to you. And I hope you can at least enjoy that feeling of being uncomfortable and challenging yourself.
Thank you. Will do.
See you out there.